Special thanks to Wren Hill Staffing Services of Texas, Gilliam and Associates, GilliamCPAPC.com, and the Diamondbacker Sports Association for their sponsorship of Reagan Baseball 2018, along with these great supporters.
Hi, I'm Greg Sherman. Being built behind me is the future home of the Northeast ISD baseball program, the brand new Northeast Stadium located at the Northeast Sports Park. And when it's completed in 2019, this new stadium will have several amenities that the old stadium didn't have, including a fully turfed field, both infield and outfield, a larger seating bowl with a larger seating capacity, plus a new scoreboard which will feature, among other things, the pitch count. One of the amenities that's coming over from the older stadium is some pretty good baseball. For the last 5 years, someone from the NEISD district played for the 6A state championship, Johnson in 2016 and Reagan in 2014, 17, and 18. Unfortunately, though, none of those teams would go on to win the state championship, but for the Reagan Rattlers, they have quickly established themselves as a dynasty in the making.
Have fun. You know, you don't know when this can happen again. You seniors, this is it. I mean, what a better way to go out here playing the last game of the high school baseball season of your senior year, and this is the second year in a row you've done it.
For the fifth time since 2014, someone from San Antonio played for a 5A or 6A baseball state championship in Round Rock. To win a title, you need a lot of breaks to go your way and sometimes a little bit of luck. Unfortunately, none of those teams were able to get the breaks and luck needed to win the title. For this Rattler team, it wasn't that they played poorly in the gold medal match, but rather that their opponent, Southlake Carroll, made the plays and got the breaks needed to win a title. Reagan came up short for the second straight year in the title match, ironically by the exact same score as in 2017. The loss was disappointing to the players who had high expectations, but to call the loss a failure would be completely missing that the Rattlers faced the best team from the best district in the state, one that would give a lot of colleges trouble. Southlake Carroll was just too good and ended Reagan's hopes of the state title.
That's baseball. It just, it wasn't our day.
Hopes that could have ended long before that hot June afternoon. On April 17th, Reagan played Stone Oak neighborhood rival Johnson for the second time this year. Although Reagan had already long secured their place in the postseason, they were looking for payback after losing the earlier matchup between the two and momentum going into the knockout rounds. Instead, Reagan played arguably their worst game of the season. 2 errors plus a plethora of base running mistakes gave Johnson a 4-1 win and put Reagan in danger of missing out on the district title.
Some mistakes that are kind of uncharacteristic of what we do, and you can't do that against those guys because they took advantage of it and they did tonight, and that's baseball. But like I said, we got to get that corrected, and we hadn't been doing that, but for whatever reason tonight it happened.
It was really just kind of like a wake-up call. It kind of let us know that people can't beat us if we don't go out there and play our game. And we were back at Reagan the next day lifting at like 9 in the morning. So I mean, it was really just a wake-up call for us.
Kind of like let everyone go home and take a look at themselves in the mirror and kind of just think, what do I need to do better to be a team player, and just work harder at practice and strive to just go deep in the playoffs and just mesh as a team, because I think that was a real turning point in our season.
As it turned out, it was a turning point for both team seasons. Reagan got back on track and won the district title for the first time in 3 years. Johnson shockingly missed out on the postseason altogether. Reagan set a school record for wins in a season, and Chapman himself picked up win number 400. That win came during a no-hitter against Houston Lamar, thrown by sophomore pitcher Travis Staley. Once they got to the knockout rounds, the Rattlers were the favorite to get back to Round Rock, even though Austin Lake Travis started the year 25-0 and at one point was ranked #1 nationally in at least one publication. Reagan was expected to roll through the first 2 rounds of the playoffs, which they did, easily defeating Austin Vandergrift in round 1 and run-ruling San Antonio Clark in round 2. That put the Rattlers into round 3, where indeed the Cavaliers were waiting for them. The best way to describe the round 3 series was that of a human dangling a ball of yarn in front of a cat and toying with the animal. In this instance, Reagan was the human and Lake Travis was the feline. Although both games were very close, the Rattlers kept control of the games from the opening inning of the series. In Game 1 in San Antonio at Wolf Stadium, the Bexar County team scored 5 runs in the first 2 innings, including 2 off bases loaded walks and another off a balk to jump out to a quick 5-0 lead. That was the biggest deficit Lake Travis faced all season, but Reagan dangled the yarn as walks let the Cavaliers get back into the game. Reagan, though, would go on to win the game 6-4 thanks to some clutch pitching by closer Travis Staley. The series shifted to Dripping Springs for Game 2. Just like in Game 1, the NEISD schools scored runs early in their first at-bat. A sacrifice fly by Hilton Brown and an RBI single by Ben Sanchez gave Reagan an early 2-0 lead. But like Game 1, Lake Travis would come back. In the 5th inning, an RBI single plus a Reagan error allowed the Cavaliers to tie the game at 2. For a few moments, it looked like Reagan would lose the lead and possibly the game, but starting pitcher Josh Buskey struck out a batter to end the inning. The game and the series would come down to the 7th inning, and a mistake by the Austin area team. With Staley on first, Dalton Brieger laid down a perfect sacrifice bunt, so perfect that the catcher knocked the senior over to field it. Brieger was called safe on catcher's interference. Another bunt moved Brieger to second and Staley to third. Seth Morrow then came up with a chance to give his team the lead. A perfect bloop over the infielders' heads brought home Staley and left Reagan 3 outs from their 3rd win over Lake Travis in all postseason sports played this season.
I had a rough start at the season and I kind of just kept on grinding at the plate, and it's happening for me right now and I'm just thankful for it. I think we just played good at the right time is what it is. I mean, this game was intense the whole time and we just kept battling and battling, never gave up, and that's just what we do throughout the playoffs last year and this year, and we've been coached to do that.
Staley, who normally plays it short, relieved Buskey to get the save again, but pitched into trouble. 2nd and 3rd with 2 outs, Lake Travis with a chance to win the game, force a Game 3, and have a ton of momentum. Instead, Staley dangled the ball of yarn in front of LT one last time. The sophomore with the strikeout ended the game, and any notion that Lake Travis was the best team in the region, much less the nation.
That's what you train for. That's what you live for. Those big-time games, you just want to come through for your team. Coach Chapman harps on always throwing strikes. You can come in. The worst thing you can do is just walk everybody. You got to come in throwing strikes.
Since the end of March, beginning of April, we knew that at some point we were going to have to go through Lake Travis if we were going to continue to play. A lot of exciting stuff happened in the last couple of innings, and we were able to scratch one out. It's a testament to my guys because they battled and battled and battled, and we were able to come out on top.
Everyone expected Lake Travis to give Reagan the hardest matchup in Region 4, but as it turned out, someone else gave the Rattlers a much tougher battle as history almost repeated itself in Round 4.
Reagan Baseball 2018 is brought to you by Wren Hill Staffing Services of Texas can help you with all of your employee staffing needs. Call them at 210-828-0508. Wren Hill Staffing Services of Texas, a proud sponsor of Reagan High School Athletics. Along with Gilliam and Associates. Lance Gilliam with Gilliam and Associates, certified public accountants, are a proud sponsor of the Rattlers and wish them the very best all season long. Ask about QuickBooks Online Solutions for your small business accounting. Contact Lance at 210-979-7055 or online at gilliamcpapc.com. Special thanks also to these great supporters.
3 years ago, Reagan played Laredo Alexander in the 4th round as the defending state runners-up. That year, the Bulldogs upset Reagan and Johnson on their way to the state semifinals, the only time since 2014 that NEISD did not have a team play for a baseball state title. Reagan struggled again with the Bulldogs in a series played at Corpus Christi Cal Allen on a field named after Chance Chapman's uncle Steve. Cal Carver had no trouble in Game 1 as they won 10-2, but the next day Alexander dominated Game 2, scoring early and often, and belted out 15 hits to win 7-3 to force a third and final game. What made it worse for Reagan was that Game 3 was just 30 minutes after Game 2, leaving them very little time to regroup. As it turned out, it was Alexander who got stage fright at the chance to upset Reagan. Top second, Zane Raba hit a routine ground ball to third, but the fielder airmailed the ball halfway to Catula. 2 runs scored to break a 1-1 tie. Top 3, a routine ground ball to short that should have been a double play ball. Instead, it was thrown away by Alexander, allowing another run to score. Each team committed 3 errors in the game. The defense was ugly and it was a test of survival. Reagan, though, would pass that test and advance to the quarters.
Before the game today, third game, I gave a pregame speech saying that we all need to relax and go through everything, and we've been in this position before. Getting ahead of them early allowed Travis to settle in and throw more strikes and have a pitch with a lead as well, and also added pressure to their offense and defense.
We capitalized on some of their mistakes was the biggest deal, and you know, we didn't score a lot of runs, but we scored enough.
The win put Reagan back into round 5, but before they could book their travel to Round Rock, they had to beat a team they were extremely familiar with, one that was looking for retribution after the Rattlers ended their 2017 season in the quarterfinals exactly 52 weeks prior.
Reagan Baseball 2018 is brought to you by Wren Hill Staffing Services of Texas can help you with all of your employee staffing needs. Call them at 210-828-0508. Wren Hill Staffing Services of Texas, a proud sponsor of Reagan High School Athletics. Along with Gilliam and Associates. Lance Gilliam with Gilliam and Associates, certified public accountants, are a proud sponsor of the Rattlers and wish them the very best all season long. Ask about QuickBooks Online Solutions for your small business accounting. Contact Lance at 210-979-7055 or online at gilliamcpapc.com. Special thanks also to these great supporters.
That team was none other than the Churchill Chargers, the same Charger team that won the district title in 2017, only to see Reagan sweep them out in round 5 after Churchill won the regular season series. In 2018, Reagan swept the season series, and thanks to 2 errors, won Game 1 2-0. Game 2 featured John Buskey back on the mound with Josh Killeen behind the plate. Top 1, Churchill runner tried to steal second, but Killeen with a perfect throw to gun out the runner. Killeen proved critical to the Stone Oak team on both sides of the ball. Bottom 1 with a runner at second, the senior with a seeing-eye dribbler just past the second baseman, Seth Morrow came around to score, and the Rattlers had the early lead.
I just saw a good pitch, first pitch, and I took it, and we got a good base hit up the middle, and Seth was on second base, and he scored, and it was good. It was good at bat.
Top 3, Buskey in a groove. He did walk 5, but struck out 8 Chargers over 6 innings. Their bats were so cold that they couldn't even hit the peanut vendor's pitches. Bottom 3, Killeen back up to bat with Porter Brown at second. This time, the catcher hit a grounder through the hole at short. Brown headed for home and scored easily to give Reagan a 2-0 lead.
Josh with the 2 hits and the 2 RBIs, threw out a leadoff guy. You know, he's an amazing player. He's got a great arm, and you know, he's just a guy you want to be around.
He's just incredible. Killeen gets it done every day. He works hard in practice, and it's just incredible what he does.
That was all the offense Reagan would get and all they would need as Buskey kept Churchill in check. After struggling against Laredo Alexander the previous week, he allowed just 1 hit in 6 innings versus Sir Winston.
They said that they got me and they got my back, so that just put me a lot of confidence, and that's what got me through this whole game.
The fans had the brooms out. A nice job by that spectator to clean off the top of the dugout. It's always nice to see fans clean up after themselves. Reagan faithful were already telling their friends about the victory, but the Rattlers still needed 3 more outs. Staley relieved Buskey to try to finish off the 7th, leaving the senior as a spectator. The sophomore, though, had no trouble, as he proved again he was clutch under pressure. Fans had the broom high in the air during the final out. A harmlessly hit ground ball back to the mound right to the sophomore pitcher. He trotted it over to first, and it ended the contest as Reagan made it 6 straight over Churchill. Churchill failed to score in any of the 14 innings, managed just 1 hit in Game 2, and came up short again in their bid for their first state semifinal trip.
We've been there before. We know what it's like, and we're ready. We're ready just with the team, with the pitching, with the offense clicking. We're ready to go, and we're feeling good.
In 4 games this year, Reagan outscored Churchill 15-1 with 3 shutouts. One thing that keyed Reagan in 2018 was their pitching. Cal Carver and John Buskey were the solid starters, John Fraga the setup man, and Travis Staley the closer. Staley had 3 saves during the postseason.
It's been amazing for us this year, just throughout the whole entire year, for us to get here. The pitching staff has been incredible.
It's good. It allows us to spread out our pitching and be completely efficient with pitching when we have a 3-game and 1-game series.
We got 4 different kinds of pitches. You know, everybody can hit their spots. We don't typically have a lot of walks, and we just have great defense. You know, we make a lot of crazy plays that a lot of other teams just can't make.
I give it up to Coach Chapman because he's been coaching us hard this whole year, and it's just incredible what he's done for us, and it's good to have it.
We've been talking about it since August, going back. You got back. Let's finish it off. You understand me? Yeah. Great job.
Next stop for the Old English R was a trip back to Round Rock with a chance to finish the fight.
Reagan Baseball 2018 is brought to you by Wren Hill Staffing Services of Texas can help you with all of your employee staffing needs. Call them at 210-828-0508. Wren Hill Staffing Services of Texas, a proud sponsor of Reagan High School Athletics. Along with Gilliam and Associates. Lance Gilliam with Gilliam and Associates, certified public accountants, are a proud sponsor of the Rattlers and wish them the very best all season long. Ask about QuickBooks Online Solutions for your small business accounting. Contact Lance at 210-979-7055 or online at GilliamCPAPC.com. Special thanks also to these great supporters. Make the routine plays, have good at bats. Okay, this is not a deal like, oh my gosh, we got to play way above our head to have a chance. That's not it. You play like you're capable of playing, and we're going to have a great chance to win. You understand me?
The road to Round Rock is a long one, 98 miles from Stone Oak, which is about 7 hours driving because of Austin traffic. Making it to the state semifinals in any sport is tough enough. Surviving 4 to 5 rounds of intense competition takes skill, talent, and sometimes luck.
Everyone dreams about playing with that atmosphere. Last year it left a bad taste in our mouth, and that kind of has given us a motive and a drive every day at practice and through the season to play that much harder just to strive to get back to Round Rock again.
Basically in the dugout, coach always preaches high energy and always rooting for your team. So we always, yes, we do some chants, but it's more just, you know, picking each other up, making air. It's always, hey, no, it's no, like, hey, come on, you can do better than that. It's like, hey, you're good, get the next one. It's always supportive, always 100% on each other's side.
We got a lot of experience, you know, we know how to go out there and play in front of big crowds and handle pressure the right way.
My brother was on the first team to go in 2014, and it just, you know, he always wanted to come back here, and so now that I'm actually in this position and on this team, we have the chance to go back and win it, it's amazing.
The other skill you need is being able to survive the pressure of the bright lights when everyone in the state is watching you. Senior pitcher Cal Carver knows about pressure. He was the starting pitcher in the 6A finals loss last year to Deer Park. This year he got the start in the semifinals against another Houston area team, Cypress Ranch. The Mustangs had something in common with Reagan. Both teams were 2-0 lifetime in the baseball semifinals, but Cy Ranch had history on their side. They won titles in 2012 and 2015, meaning if history held, they would win the 2018 title. But as the handy graphic on your screen says, Reagan Athletics this year were 11-0 during the athletic year in the playoffs against teams that did not win their district. Cy Ranch finished second in District 17. Early on, it looked like Carver was in for a long evening. Top one, a leadoff walk and a bunt put Wesley Shields at second. Right fielder Colton Cowser hit a fly ball to center just out of the reach of Seth Morrill. Good effort, though. Shields rounded third to score the game's first run. Later in the inning, Carver attempted to pick off Cowser at second, but the ball got away and rolled into the outfield, moving Cowser to third with 2 outs. Ty Williams hit a line drive headed for left field, but it was snared by third baseman Hilton Brown to save a run and end the inning.
I had a bad inning, and I knew my teammates were going to score at least 1 run in that game, and I knew that they were going to have my back. So I just had to, keep focused on throwing strikes and pitching my game.
I just told him we had a pretty bad inning, and he only gave up 1 run, that we were still in good shape. He pitched well.
Cy Ranch thought the early run meant past success was a sign of future results. However, it was nothing more than false hope. The Mustangs would not get another runner past second. Cypress Ranch still led 1-0 going to the bottom of the second inning when the Rattler attack struck. A Cal Martin double put runners in scoring position with 1 out. For a team that hit 15 home runs and had nearly 80 extra base hits during the season, Chance Chapman's team used small ball as their venom. Let's flash back to the team's send-off 27 hours earlier. Second baseman Dalton Brieger was asked about how important the bottom third of the lineup was to the team's offense.
When you're in the bottom of the lineup, you just kind of want to get on base so you can get back to the top of the lineup so they could drive in more runs. So main objective, just get on base and try to draw walks and stuff.
Brieger wasn't entirely accurate. The bottom of the lineup didn't set it up for the top. The bottom was the top. Number 7 hitter shortstop Travis Staley started the merry-go-round with a seeing-eye single into right. The slow roller got past the infield and allowed pinch runner Jared Shearer to score to tie the game. Next up, Brieger in the 8th spot tried to sacrifice himself with a safety squeeze bunt. Instead, pitcher Matt Thompson tried to play hero instead of smart. He threw home to try to nail Martin, but instead his throw was wide of the mark, allowing Martin to score and everyone to advance an extra base, and Reagan took the lead. Look again as Thompson could have taken the sure out at first, or maybe even had a shot at a 1-6-3 double play. But the pitcher panicked under the pressure of the bright lights as Brieger's bunt began the undoing of Cypress Ranch.
He gave me a good outside fastball, so I put it down, laid it down good. He made an error, got the run in, so it all went well.
Next up was 9-hole hitter Zane Raba. He laced a liner past the second baseman into right field to bring home Staley to make it 3-1. Back to the top of the lineup with Seth Morrill. He's gonna swing for the fences, but no, he drops down a bunt. No one in blue and yellow expected it. Brieger sprinted home for another run, 4-1 Reagan. Morrill, the second successful bunt in the inning.
We worked on safety squeezes and stuff like that all week, and we did it in a big spot right here, and it really helped us out.
Next hitter Porter Brown said, "Hey, I want in on the fun." His single to left field brought home Raba. 5-1 Reagan after 2 innings. The 7 through 2 spots all advanced runners in the inning, and the damage took just 9 minutes, leaving the Mustangs snake-bitten.
We're not a very good bunting team, but for whatever reason tonight it worked, and it paid off in a big way.
The bad news for Chapman was his team would not score again. The good news, though, was his defense made sure the 5 runs were more than enough as the bucket drum beats drowned out the opposing fans.
Special thanks to Wren Hill Staffing Services of Texas, Gilliam & Associates, GilliamCPAPC.com, and the Diamondbackers Sports Association for their sponsorship of Reagan Baseball 2018, along with these great supporters.
Every time Cy Ranch tried to get back into the contest, Reagan's defense chomped down on the base runners. Top 4, the runner on first with 1 out. Matt Thompson, who was pulled from the mound and went to center field, grounded into a 4-6-3 double play to end the inning. Top 6, Cy Ranch had 2 on with 1 out. With the Mustang fans sensing their team about to make a play to get back into the contest, Josh Killeen and Travis Staley made plays to crush those hopes. Killeen threw out the lead runner at third in a double steal attempt. Then Staley made an unbelievable throw to retire Ty Williams on a ground ball to end the inning. It was a close play, but the out was recorded, and the Reagan fans waved goodbye to Cypress Ranch's perfect record in Round Rock. Robert Trevino flew out to right to end the game, and Reagan's 5 second-inning runs held up in a 5-1 win. Apparently that fan didn't follow his own sign, but in this case, false advertising is perfectly legal. Cal Carver threw a complete Game 3 hitter with 5 strikeouts in his final appearance as a Reagan Rattler.
Stay within myself and keep my composure and just focus on the next pitch.
Cal's been our ace all year, and we knew he was going to end up throwing a really good game, so we didn't really have to tell him much. We knew he was going to go out there and compete, and that's what he did, and came up big for us.
That's just the type of player he is. I mean, whatever you ask him to do, he's going to do it.
Some notes from the semifinal. Cal Martin had 3 hits, including 2 doubles. It marked the 3rd straight year someone from an NEISD baseball team had 3 hits in the semifinals. Reagan became the first team in 7 years to score 5 runs in an inning, but not score in any other innings. It was also the 5th straight baseball semifinal win by an NEISD team dating back to the 1980s, and the 5th straight by a San Antonio area team since 2014, which included Alamo Heights in Class 5A. But none of those teams would win the final. The Rattlers improved to 3-0 all-time in baseball semifinals, which matches boys soccer's semifinal mark of also 3-0. The Rattlers became the first 6A school to reach back-to-back baseball finals since Fort Bend Elkins did it in 2002 and 2003. Even though Reagan went on to lose in the finals to Southlake Carroll, catcher Josh Colleen, third baseman Hilton Brown, utility pitcher Cal Carver, and outfielder Porter Brown were all named the 6A All-Tournament team. For Porter Brown, it was the 2nd straight year he was selected.
He played for the state championship 2 years in a row. I mean, yeah, I wish we would have won it. But, part of it is that journey. You have been awesome through it. And if those younger guys can learn from you and follow you, then, we might have a chance to do this again. But I appreciate everything you guys have done.
Chance Chapman spent a long time hugging and thanking each of his seniors for their hard work over the years. They've set a high standard for not only their teammates and classmates, but for the rest of San Antonio in making it back to Round Rock.
It is a phenomenal achievement milestone for Reagan and the program. A lot of teams wish to make it to this place where they're the only last 2 teams in Texas standing in 6A out of maybe 300, 400 high schools. This team had the audacity to witness the same thing last year and lose, come up short, and to make it all the way and grind each day and practice out is an amazing thing for this team.
It just leaves a legacy of you always got to work hard every day. You always got to keep pushing no matter what, keep going, because just put your head down and keep going.
It's undescribable, but I'm so proud of these guys. We put in so much work, and we worked for this moment every single day in practice, and we grinded, and it's tough.
It's a tribute to them. I mean, I cannot praise them enough for just getting back here. There ain't enough words to say what they've meant to me in this program. I mean, they've been great leaders. They've been great role models.
We kind of gelled together over the years. I think it's just Coach Chapman, he's an awesome coach, and he really gets the best out of every single one of his players. And in practice, we're just always working towards our goal, and he's making sure that we're doing that, and I think that's a big part of this. And he really brings the best out of every single player.
It's been the best ride I've ever had in my life. This year has been unbelievable. Don't let anyone tell you can't do it. Just keep pushing, because something good's going to happen.
Special thanks to Wren Hill Staffing Services of Texas, Gilliam & Associates, GilliamCPAPC.com, and the Diamondbacker Sports Association for their sponsorship of Reagan Baseball 2018, along with these great supporters.
Although the Rattlers came up short in Round Rock for the 2nd straight year, they continue to set new records. 37-8 was their final record this year. They never lost 2 games in a row. Plus, if you include their appearance in the 6A boys soccer final this year, they have established themselves as the top San Antonio athletic program the last few years. Their 3 finals appearances in the last 2 years are 2 more than anybody else in the San Antonio area, plus their 3 finals appearances in Class 6A is more than anybody in the entire state in that classification, more than Allen, more than Katy, more than Lake Travis, more than Westlake. So even though it may be raining outside right now, their program looks bright and sunny for the future. I'm Greg Sherman.